Greetings, YouTube pipe smokers. Planxty Pipes here. Tonight bringing you a tour of my pipe rack. Thought I would share a little bit about the pipes that I own and like to smoke. First things first, the rack itself, which is right over here, I'll bring it into frame. It's a Two Cousins pipe rack that I bought at Low Country Pipe and Cigar. It's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's actually the B&M storefront for SmokingPipes.com. And if you ever get a chance to go, Low Country Pipes and Cigars is a fantastic store. Everybody there is awesome and a lot of help and just pleasant people to talk to, good to be around. So I highly recommend that if you're in the area, you stop by Low Country Pipe and Cigar. You'll really like it. You'll have a good time. In fact, the first time I went there, they were having a Castello event, and they had one of the guys from Castello in Italy come over, and he was showing off tons of Castello pipes, and it was the first place that I'd ever seen one up close and held one, and man, they were beautiful. And that started my lust for Castello pipes, which I have managed to get one in the intervening years, but they're a little expensive for me, so I only have the one that I bought in a Estate Castello, and I really like it. It's probably my favorite pipe. But I'll try to show these to you in the order that I bought them. The first pipe that I ever got, which actually was in the last video that I did, I think, right here. It's a Carolina Briars bent billiard. It's a tinderbox basket pipe. Nothing fancy. I think I paid maybe 30 bucks for it or something like that. I remember when I went into the store, I was adamant about the fact that I wanted to get a bent pipe, and that I wanted it to be smooth and not rusticated or sandblasted. I don't know why at the time. That was just in my head, the vision of a pipe that I had. So I went in and I saw they had their basket pipes. They only had a couple. They had a rusticated bent, I think it was an apple maybe, and then they had the bent billiard, and so I went with the smooth bent billiard, which in retrospect is really not a great pipe. The drilling's kind of off. The draft hole kind of comes into the bowl probably 1/4 of an inch or 1/3 of an inch above the bottom of the bowl, which is really, so it smokes kind of wet. I don't smoke it very often. It's basically been relegated to my aromatic pipe because I don't smoke aromatics that often. So aromatics tend to smoke wet for me anyway. It doesn't matter what pipe I use, so I might as well use my pipe that smokes wet. And usually if I just run a pipe cleaner or two through the stem, it's alright. But yeah, that's the first pipe I ever got. So shortly after that, I knew that I enjoyed pipe smoking and I was going to stick with it. So I decided it was time to get my first brand name factory pipe. So I bought this Peterson Donegal Rocky, and I bought it from Frenchies, which was an online store. Some of you that have been smoking pipes for a while will probably remember him. He was fairly active in the message boards at the time and had an online pipe shop that everybody recommended. I believe that he's the guy that the Frenchie's Sons of Bitches pipe tobacco is named after. But this, I don't know what year it is. Just a really nice rusticated billiard. I love this pipe. It is kind of got a small bowl, which I actually like. I don't know why, but I think probably because usually when I smoke my pipe, having small children, I don't have a long time to do it. So this pipe is pretty good because it gives me a good, half hour to an hour smoke depending on what I'm smoking and how fast I'm smoking it. It's got a hallmarked silver band, but the hallmark's pretty much worn off before I got it. It's impossible for me to read. I have no idea. I think maybe I got out a magnifying glass once and tried to figure out what it was, and I think that it is from the mid 90s maybe. And but that's a shot in the dark because, like I said, it's really difficult to actually read the letter marking at the end of the hallmark, so I honestly have no idea for sure. So that was the second pipe that I got. And now that I'm thinking about it, that might be wrong. I can't remember which one I got first. I got two Petersons right after the first billiard that I got, the bent billiard from Tinderbox. And the other Peterson is this one right here. Oh, I should say, the Donegal Rocky, I believe, is a shape 6. Yes, shape 6, which is probably my favorite Peterson billiard shape now. Probably because that's what I've got, and I've just gotten used to it, but aesthetically, I really like it. I think it's just a really cool, masculine-looking pipe, so really smoked pretty well. It's a little wet, too, but I love it so much that I really don't even care. Like I said, if your pipe smoke's a little wet, just run a pipe cleaner down the stem while you're smoking it. If the drilling's good, it's not going to matter. And don't feel bad about it. I thought it was a cop-out early on in my pipe career when I was thinking all kinds of crazy things about pipe smoking. I thought I wasn't a real pipe smoker if I smoked wet and I had to run a pipe cleaner down it. But in the intervening years, what I've discovered is you just do what works for you and you don't feel bad about it. If you have to relight a bowl 15 times, 30 times while you're smoking it, it doesn't matter. As long as you're enjoying it, that's what the pipe smoking hobby is all about. That's all I care about. Am I having a good time? Am I enjoying the smoke? Is it relaxing to me? Now, granted, if you have to relight 50,000 times, it isn't super relaxing. So sometimes you want to just put down the bowl and walk away. But yeah, I'm rambling a little bit. So the Peterson System Standard pipe here, it is a 303. 302 is a little bigger. It's just a little bent apple. Really nice smoker. I like the P-lip okay. The Donegal Rocky's got a P-lip too. Prefer the fishtail, but I bought them estate and they were good deals. And hey, they work for me just the same. They smoke just fine. I think it's a little easier for me to clench a fishtail, so that's why I like those a little better, but the P-lip never caused me any problems. So after the two Petersons, I bought my first Savinelli, which I'm smoking right here. This, I think that the other Peterson I also bought from Frenchie, same place. This Savinelli is a Duca Carlo, and it's kind of, I go back and forth on whether I think it's a billiard or if I think it's a Dublin. And I'm kind of leaning towards Dublin because it's got a conical bowl. And it's kind of a little bit flared at the top. So it's a little more Dublin-y to me. So that's kind of what I consider it. I bought this pipe because to me, there's a famous picture of J.R.R. Tolkien smoking a Dublin, and I have no idea what brand of pipe it is, but this one to me looks just like it. So that's why I bought it. I thought it was cool and it was cheap, and it smokes great. I use this for Virginias and Vapors. The two Petersons both are dedicated to English blends. A lot of Kia. I shouldn't say English. A lot of Kia, Balkans, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Savinelli Duca Carlo. After that, I had someone send me a pipe, actually. He was giving me some tobacco samples, and he threw in a pipe that he didn't smoke. It is a little Bulldog. Right here, rusticated Bulldog. It's got kind of a funky rim. You can see that it's kind of curved. I think they do that for kind of make it a wind block or something. I'm not really sure what the point of it is. The pipe smokes really good, but it's not one of my favorites. It's a Conway. It says Conway London made in England. This one's another one that I pretty much use as a sampler pipe if I'm going to smoke aromatics. Just because I started smoking aromatics in it right when I got it, and I've just never taken the time to switch it. It smokes good, but I don't really smoke it very often. It's not one of my favorites. Just aesthetically. It's okay, but I don't like the rim. The rim's really funky to me. I'm not a big fan. But, hey, decent pipe, and you always need a kicker to try out different blends that you're afraid might ghost other pipes, or, you know, something that you're just not sure about. You don't want to smoke in one of your regular pipes, so it's great for that. So then, I think the next one that I got was this Stanwell. And my wife bought me this one for Father's Day. First Father's Day after my daughter was born. So it holds a very special place in my heart. I love this pipe. I love the shape. It's the first Danish pipe that I ever got. And it's got that Danish bent egg look. It's a Stanwell Silky Brune, and the shape is 139. Love it. Smokes so good with Virginias and Vapors. That's what I predominantly smoke in there. Every once in a while, I'll smoke Tinderbox Reserve 1928. It's an aromatic, but it's super, super light aromatic. It's not, it doesn't really case the pipes ghost the pipes. So I love the color of it. I love the finish. It sits real well. Usually I'm not a huge fan of the the non-rusticated or sandblasted pipes, the smooth pipes. I like them okay, but they're just not what I tend to go for. I really like rustication. I really like sandblasting. And I'm not sure why that is, because when I first started smoking a pipe, it turned me off. I thought they looked cheap. But now there's something about it that's very rugged. I don't feel like I have to worry as much about banging them around accidentally or something like that. And they feel really good in the hand. The texture feels nice, and I've heard people say that because of the rustication, they have more surface area, so they tend to smoke cooler. I don't know if I really buy into that, at least with mine. I mean, I don't have several pipes of the same shape in smooth and sandblasted or rusticated to really see if I feel a difference. But I'm a fan of them all. But I just, if I'm buying a pipe these days, it's almost always going to be something rusticated or sandblasted. I just lean that way. Yeah, so then after the Stanwell, I think the next pipe that I got was my Castello. And this one was an eBay acquisition. It's a Castello Sea Rock Briar. It's one of the older American import Castellos. You can see it has the rhinestone inlaid on the stem. Instead of, now they have like a white kind of line right there, which looks cool too. I kind of like the rhinestone. It's, you know, kind of cool looking, I think. A little flashy, but the rustication on this one's fantastic. The finish color on this one is fantastic. When I originally got it, it was a little bit lighter, but I've smoked it so much it's kind of darkened up, and it's got this nice like patina on it that I just really love. The draw on a Castello, they're wide open. If you've smoked a Castello, you know what I mean. The bit feels amazing. It's like the perfect size. For me, some people don't like them because they're pretty big. But for me, it helps to clench. I really, I like that little bit bigger bit on the end of it. This is a 2K. They're, I think, made, the Sea Rocks aren't labeled with Ks anymore, I don't think, only the smooth pipes, but it has to do with the size of the pipe. So 4K is the biggest K mark, I think 4 or 5, and then they have a G, which is their biggest. But a 2K would be the second smallest size. So like I said, I tend to like smaller pipes. This one's a little pot with a saddle bit. Might be, I have one other pipe with a saddle bit. And some people hate them. Some people hate non-saddle bits. I don't have any preference. If I like the pipe, I like the pipe. Aesthetically, it works for me. This is an English pipe for me. I always smoke a Latakia pipe. I always smoke lap blends out of it. And usually it's one of about 2 or 3 blends. My favorite couple of blends. I smoke Penzance in this a lot. I smoke GLP's Gaslight in it a lot. And things like Dunhill Nightcap. Just darker, more pungent, I guess, Latakia blends in the Castello. Favorite pipe, so obviously favorite blends are going to get smoked in it. So, running my mouth and not tending my pipe. I should mention, I'm smoking Capstan Flake in this, the blue Capstan, which I really like. It's the Tolkien pipe, and Capstan Blue, or Capstan Navy Cut, is supposedly what J.R.R. Tolkien smoked, so to me, these days, that's almost all I smoke out of this. Alright, after the Castello, I got another Stanwell. This is a Stanwell Special. I use it for Virginias by default, because usually when I first get a pipe and I'm breaking it in, I smoke Virginias in it just till I figure out what I want to do with it. And this one I've only smoked, you know, maybe 8 or 9 bowls out of, and I kept thinking, well, I'll eventually, you know, it's a cool diplomat shape, I'll eventually maybe start smoking English blends out of it, but I haven't switched yet. And it does pretty good with the Virginias and Vapors, so I might just stick with that. I don't know. It's a 198 shape, and I think Smoking Pipes or Pipes and Cigars, one of them was running a special where you got like 3 tins of tobacco, pipe tool, pipe, that could be one of like 4 or 5 different Stanwells. And you didn't get to choose the shape or anything like that. You just got what they sent you. And this was the one that I got, which I actually really, really like. So it's very heavy and it's hard to clench. So, but it fits in the hand great. So it's a great little hand pipe. Yeah, it's a good smoker. Pretty much all Stanwells that I've tried are great smokers. You can't really go wrong with Stanwell, Savinelli, or Pearson, in my opinion. I haven't had bad luck with them. For lower priced factory pipes, I think they do great. So after the Stanwell Special came my Claudio Cavici, which is another eBay pipe and another English pipe for me. Cavici, what can I say? I love his pipes. I've never seen one that I didn't like. He mostly works in smooths. He does a few rustications a year, I think. Bent billiard, huge bowl, big open draw. It's got the cool little Cavici inlay there. I don't know if you can see, it's a white dot and a brown dot together. Saddle bit. Smokes good. Longest smoke probably of all my pipes, just because the bowl is so big and deep. And I like the way that it hangs. Feels good. It's a good clencher. So Cavici is the first artisan pipe maker that I saw that I just loved them and was like, someday I want to get a Cavici. And it took me a while to find one that I really wanted to buy because it was the right price, basically, is what it is. Like I said, it's hard for me to look at a Cavici and not want it because they're so cool, in my opinion. So then, after the Cavici, I got this, which is a Savinelli, and it is Venus series, I think. A little rusticated apple. See if I see the shape listed here. Veneri, that's what it is. Veneri. It's based on or inspired by the famous painting of Venus. So it's basically a Virginia pipe for me, Virginias and Vapors. It smokes great. It's probably, out of all my Virginia pipes, the best smoker. And this pipe I won in the Pipes Magazine caption contest, cartoon caption contest. They run a contest where they post cartoons and you have to write in a caption and send it to them. So I sent in a caption on a cartoon and I won that pipe in a Savinelli t-shirt, which is really cool. And then I captioned another cartoon about, I don't know, 3-4 months later, and won again, and won another pipe exactly like it. So I've actually got 2 of those, but one of them I haven't even opened yet because I just haven't gotten around to it. So it's sitting in a box in my cellar, my chest that I keep my tobaccos in, which I'll show you in another video. So, and then the last pipe that I have is kind of a strange one. It's a Kamoi that I bought. It's a Kamoi Zulu that I bought on eBay, and it was not originally finished like this. In fact, it is unfinished right now because the first time I smoked it, it was kind of a sandblast, and the first time I smoked it, the finish started peeling off of it. So now I paid like $14 for this pipe on eBay, so it wasn't like it was some major loss that I was super upset about. Although I do really like the shape, and I like that it's small and it sits fantastic in your mouth. But it has kind of thin walls, and it got really hot when I was smoking it, even though I was trying to smoke it really slow. And I only smoked like a third of a bowl, half a bowl, and it started peeling. And it started bubbling, so I kind of was rubbing it, and then the bubble kind of busted, and the finish started peeling. And I was really upset about that because I had just gotten it. But I decided, well, kind of stupidly, decided that I would just sand it down, and I don't have an electric sander or anything, so I sanded it all down by hand, and it took a long time. And I got it sanded fairly smooth. It took a lot of sanding to get it that smooth. There's still a few little pits in it, but I'm not really going to worry about those. I think I'm just going to stain it and wax it and see how it does. Like I said, it was like 14 bucks. It's no big loss. So that's the last pipe that I got. It's a Kamoi Zulu. And I don't know what I'm going to smoke in it. Like I said, I smoked it one time. But cool little pipe. So, yeah, that's a tour of my pipe rack. I like all the pipes that I have. Some of them don't get smoked very often. Some of them get smoked a lot. The Cavici, the Castello, the Peterson Donegal Rocky Billiard, and this Savinelli probably get the most work. Oh, the Stanwell that my wife bought me for Father's Day, that one gets smoked a lot too. So that's like my basic rotation that I go through. And the other ones are basically just here and there whenever I feel like I want to change it up, want something different. That's when I go to one of the others. So, hope you enjoyed the virtual tour. I'm going to do another one with my tobacco cellar and show you the tins that I have and the blends that I have in mason jars. Just kind of show you what I like to smoke. So thanks very much for joining me. Hope you guys had a great day. This is Planks D Pipes signing off.